Good morning, everybody. This is a general reading for the collective, and we're going to be focusing on the new moon in Aries. And Aries is a fire sign, and so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of wands showed up in this reading. And what we can do is we can just pull a few cards, and I imagine that the new moon is about setting goals, and what you want to do is, like, if you have something that you want to manifest, typically if the causes and conditions are just right for you, and I mean, not that if your goal didn't manifest that anything is wrong with what you did by any means, but the new moon, you set your intention and you place your goal in mind, and it could be little, it could be bigger, whatever the case may be. And some are more long-term than others, okay? But the idea is that by the full moon, you know, you will have reaped what you've sown, so to speak. So then with that being said, probably have some pentacles in the reading, although pentacles are a suit of patience, a suit of earth. The element is earth with the pentacles, and things typically you got to give it time to grow. You can look at pentacles as being like seeds, or you can look at pentacles as being coins, and you know, it's all pretty amazing when you think about it and break it down. That's why I love it so much. So I had a little blessing in disguise this morning. I was getting ready to leave, and I realized that I have an appointment later that made it so I didn't have to leave right away. So I was like, oh, well, been wanting to find some time to do a nice little reading, and so we'll go ahead and do that, okay? You know, and as my channel is quite new, I'm experimenting with different camera angles and things like that, and I thought that my last couple of videos I really enjoyed the readings, and it felt a little far away, and but either way, I think what would be really helpful is if you left comments in the section. Well, like, you know, what you think is working, what could be improved upon. And since we're all a part of the same loving community, if you could be gentle with your feedback, that would be great. Definitely don't need any kind of negativity. You know, I mean, constructive criticism is great. All right, so we're focusing on the new moon in Aries. Okay, so I'm going to do 3 cards, an initial 3-card pull, and see where that leads us. I think the first card can be, what do you have at your foundation right now? Helping you along the way, like what kind of strengths do you already possess that are already an integrated part of you, that's going to help you with your goal. And then the second card can be, what kind of support, what kind of energies might you want to strengthen within yourself, or bring in, or begin to think about in order to supplement what you already have integrated inside of you to reach your goal. And then the third can be, you know, an outcome, like what's a possible outcome, and then we'll clarify from there. So I'm using the Star Tarot and the Morgan-Greer today, and I feel like the Star Tarot is going to be really great as a primary. Okay, so what is it that we already have inside of us? And it's the Sun card, which is fantastic. Wow. And the Sun is actually in Aries right now, I believe. Yeah, because if your birthday was just recently or is right now around this time, it's April, Aries. There we go. Yay. So the sun is like all the positive things. So whatever your goal is, you already have, like, what you have inside of you is in alignment with whatever you choose to do. It's inside of you. And so and you can strengthen your focus, and you know that you have the sun that's going to help your seeds grow, basically. Because we need sun, we need warmth, and this is just all of the positive vibes. So what this is saying is whatever goal that you have created inside yourself, fantastic, because this is also a yes card. It's the answer is yes. Just keep working on what it is that you're working on, whether it's brand new or whether you've been having it in mind for a while. And this might also indicate to you that that maybe you need to, I don't know, fire it up a little bit, kick it up a notch. Okay, so, but that's already what you have inside of you. So, so then it asks, or my next one was, what is it that we were going to supplement the sun with? And that sounds a little funny, because it's like, the sun doesn't really need much supplementation. I mean, it's like the best one you can get, the best card of growth and happiness, whether it's like you're manifesting a relationship or a new job or just it's success. It's very good vibes all the way. So I put, what do we need in order to supplement it? And it's interesting, sometimes we can get interesting messages. And so with you having the sun already, the next one I pulled was the Five of Pentacles. Now the Five of Pentacles is pretty much like opposite of the sun in a way. That people are out in the cold, they're feeling ghosted, they're feeling left out, feeling as though there isn't, just like there's just a feeling of sadness, and maybe even a feeling of like rejection or perceived rejection, right? Like you're out in the cold, you're feeling put out. And the other aspect of the Five of Pentacles, traditionally, two folks are outside of a church, and there's light and warmth inside of the church. And so the other aspect of the Pentacles is that you can go in, like a church is like, a symbol for a welcoming space, and so you can go in there and warm yourself up by the fire. So I believe that what this is saying is that you have the sun inside of you, and there may be some fear going forward in wanting to manifest this goal that you have. Like, it feels like it's probably taking a risk. It wouldn't be a goal that is just easy to walk right into. You're going to have to put some work into this. You're going to have to put some work into it. And along the way, you might doubt yourself. And so when you begin to doubt yourself, know that you belong. Know that you can also call on your resources. You can call on your support, like, the proverbial folks inside the church who lit that fire. And in this card in particular, what we have a figure who appears, it looks like the hermit. He may or may not be the hermit, but he's cloaked and he's cold, and there's mountains all around him, and it's like nighttime and it's cold, and it's like kind of like, the dark night of the soul. But yet the Five of the Pentacles are embedded in a giant star, which the star in tarot is hope and wishes. And so we see how there's, a pretty big wish, and there could be these pentacles embedded inside the wish. There is some self-doubt that goes into this manifestation. But this person has a wolf with them. They have their, like their power animal, their companion, and the wolf is going to keep them safe. The wolf is going to keep them safe. And this could also be like the wolf is also a guide, that they're both looking up to the mountains that they're about to climb. And the wolf is at attention. The ears are up and the person is kind of looking down a little bit. So it's clear that this person needs some support, needs support of a trusted companion who can keep their ears and eyes open for them. And, maybe point out some blind spots for, if you being the person in this scenario, you want to have your trusted companions point out blind spots to you, okay? And it is going to be challenging. However, you have the sun inside of you, all that warmth and all that positive energy to combat any self-limiting beliefs that might come your way on this next manifestation, this goal setting. This feels like it could be a longer term goal too. Like maybe this coming, from the new moon to the full moon, maybe instead of being like, okay, I've set my intention and now it's going to be completely, I'm going to put a bow on it in another 2 weeks, you could maybe take it in baby steps. Okay, break it down. If it's a larger goal, break it down. What do I want to accomplish first? And then once you get there, then the next. Or maybe even want to hold it out for the next month too, because then you could set your next step 2 for the next new moon. All right, so this is the outcome, the possible outcome. Okay. So basically what we have is the Eight of Cups, okay? Now the Eight of Cups signifies someone who realizes that a certain thing doesn't benefit them anymore. And so instead of pouring their energy into something that they've tried and have tried working on for a while, they've collected 8 cups, they've come pretty far in this emotional journey. And so basically they're moving on. So there may be some of you out there who have set a goal in mind, but maybe that goal is, I'm thinking maybe somewhere along the way you may adjust what it is that you're trying to manifest for yourself and reflect on, like, is this the thing that I want to manifest? I mean, maybe what you have in mind without it could be a blessing in disguise, right? So either way, like, this outcome is the Eight of Cups, the possible outcome, which you may reevaluate and then walk away from that. Because after all, see, I'll spend a little, so I was going to say, after all, you do have the sun inside of you. And so it's kind of like, maybe you're trying to manifest something that you really don't need because you already have everything inside. And I hope that doesn't sound too frou-frou, but I mean, it's also not just inside, it's also in your life. Like, whatever's going good in your life, whatever is, wherever in your life you feel like you are in alignment and you're going with the flow and it's not a super big struggle, like it's super big, like you're trying to climb a mountain in order to scratch and claw your way to make something happen or make something different than what it is, then you can walk away from it, because you don't need to spend, I mean, we always have to put effort into our desires and effort into our goals. That said, however, we also need to be clear about what is possible for us and clear about what is possible for us and what like, is the hard work leading us towards what's really there, or is the hard work trying to get us towards some idea that we have in our mind about what we think that is, whatever we feel is out of our reach? Just being clear on what it is that you want. I think I'm going to move on from that train of thought for a moment. So the Eight of Cups, so we have here, and this is interesting because look at this. We have star imagery, and for you it'll go like this. But we have star imagery because, you know, we got the star, the goal is embedded in this hope. And the goal is embedded in the hope. And over here, we have this woman, she kind of reminds me of a mermaid, and she's underwater. But there's a star that she's going towards. And then above the star, there's a rainbow. And then there's a mountain behind the star. So, you know, I think what this is inviting you to do is really assess your goal and say to yourself, is this something that I'm reaching towards it, but is it reaching toward me? Or am I going to fight tooth and nail and then maybe come to a different outcome or a related outcome? Because despite her walking away, despite her swimming up and out of the depths, away from this would-be emotional experience, maybe you're walking away from a relationship. I know that there's been a lot of that theme kind of in the ether right now. She's walking away, but she's going toward the surface and going toward the star that's in, at the base of the mountain, not at the top of the mountain. She doesn't have to fight tooth and nail to get the emotional experience that she really wanted from this. So it sounds like this goal that's being set might be coming from a place of of heartbreak and loss, and that maybe the goal that this is becoming pretty specific, right? But so I don't know if this is happening, largely on the collective right now, but this goal or this desire, this manifestation could be rooted in a sense of loss and wanting to make something different than what it is. And that's okay, because when you're like this, it feels really sad. It's like you're feeling pretty raw and out in the cold, and that's a real bummer. And so when I think part of the stages of grief, right? It's like, we kind of bargain, we want to negotiate, there's some denial in there. And what we want to do is try to take control back, right? Because it's like, okay, this thing happened, and what if it doesn't have to be that way? I want to try to use my energies. I'm maybe going to bring out all kinds of my sunshine to make it, to work really hard to get this person to love me or whatever, right? Because this feels like, with the emotions in place, with all this depth of water here, fighting tooth and nail to make something different than what it is, because that's what we do. Naturally, a lot of the times when we're faced with something that we've lost, we want to try to make it so that's not so. and which is healthy, because whatever it is that you want, I would imagine it's rooted in a very healthy want, which could be, in this instance, love. You know, this person, this woman has spent a lot of time on this relationship, and now she's swimming away. And she's swimming towards her other star. Because you know what? The star will always be there for you. You know, the star is a new hope, and that hope is inside of you. Okay? So let's get some clarification. Let's get a little bit of clarification, or a little bit of supplement, a little bit of what else is here that can be said to us. And so there's a struggle. There's a struggle attached to this. And there's the Queen of Rods. So the Queen of Rods, she's so confident, so driven. And so this also says that, you know, her mind is made up, at least right now, for sure. And there's this the climbing of the mountain. Like, I just get this message over and over that, like, the goal is embedded in a hope, but the hope to make it, that it's going to be hard work. And there's two things taking, or couple of feelings being held at once. One is determination, and the other is insecurity. It's like there's both there. There's, like, you know, and maybe you're going back and forth. Maybe you're going back and forth of being like, I'm going to bring my fire. Like, I'm going to make this, like, this is like, you know, because the Queen of Rods, the Queen of Wands, she's determined. She's determined. And she's also patient. She's not impulsive. She's not impulsive. She's grounded. And, oh man, what came to me just now is that she's just like the badass. She is just the badass of the deck. I love her. I love her. I really do. I'm telling you, there was a time in my life when I was doing a lot of soul searching. And this is just a personal story. The Queen of Rods. And the thing is that I knew what I had to do. I knew what I had to do. And I knew on the other side of what I had to do was going to be that I didn't know where I was going, you know, and you could feel this way right now too. Like, maybe you're like, I'm going to go for a hike in the middle of the night in the winter. And like, I only have this super beautiful, warm wolf to help me and to keep me warm and to help me survive through this hike, through those snowy mountains. Like, I don't know what's on the other side of those mountains, but I have to get there because I'm feeling way too left out where I'm at. So the Queen of Rods, so maybe your Queen of Rods, maybe your determination is the fire in order to get over that mountain. And despite not knowing what's on the other side of the mountain, the belief and the hope that there's something better on the side of the mountain. So, you know, honestly, like, this is, you know, readings like evolve as we go. And I find that, you know, if I set them up with too much of a bracket beforehand, you know, I just want to kind of keep that as a framework, but also see what the cards tell us, right? Because that's what we're here for. That's what we're doing. So you got the Queen of Rods energy, which is very determined, but very grounded and truthful with herself. Very truthful. And when I use the pronouns, please, it's an energy. And I just drew another card to clarify the Five of Pentacles, and it's a Five of Pentacles. So I'm thinking maybe what you might want to manifest is overcoming whatever this thing is. You need to rely on your trusted guides and your companions that are keeping an eye out for you. it is going to be like climbing a mountain in the dark sometimes. And it's going to feel cold. But there's hope because the star imagery is very much alive in this. Okay? You're feeling really raw right now. You're feeling really raw right now. And wounded. I can feel that. And you know, as I'm looking at this, like something that has come to me is like, you need to take some time also to lick your wounds. Like I wouldn't be surprised seriously, I wouldn't be surprised if I pulled like the Four of Swords. Because, I mean, I know that this is the Five of Pentacles, but like just the way that she's holding him. And, you know, he's got like this blood-soaked bandage and all this stuff. It's like, you know, you're masculine and feminine. Like you're wanting to integrate yourself and really mothering yourself right now, really nurturing yourself right now. And, you know, tending to your wounds. Tending to your wounds. You want to tend to your wounds? And I think that the thing is that, yeah, you're feeling raw, but you know that you're going to be okay. Like, you know that you're going to be okay. Because you're the Queen of Rods. That's why. Let me look and see what time it is. Because I have to take off a little bit here, but I really am enjoying this reading, and I want to keep it. So let's pull some more. Let's pull a couple of supporting cards. We'll see for the outcome. Okay. King of Pentacles. Now the King of Pentacles, like this is a very stable energy. And you could see like it's so cool because you know how I said earlier that the King of Pentacles, or not the King of Pentacles, but like the Pentacles are like seeds. They're like seeds, they're like coins. They represent patience, stability, and manifestation, growth, and patience. Patience for sure. And maybe this is somebody that's coming in. You know, this could be somebody that's coming in like, you know, a counterpart to you. Because I would imagine that maybe you're swimming out from an emotional experience. You're coming away from this Five of Pentacles piece. But you're moving towards the star. And a possible outcome is this King of Pentacles energy. So through this, and this could be the energy this could be what the tarot is inviting you to also incorporate. It could be saying that, you know, maybe there's somebody like this who's coming into your space. But what this is, like, if you look at, he's got like all the grapes around him, you know, and so he's harvested, you know, the delicious fruit and is looking straight on at you and is just a very stable energy. And so stable and patient. And I just got this like, and knowing what they want, because I mean, in order to harvest, because he's harvested, right? He's harvested his grapes. In order to harvest, it's like you reap what you sow, and then your harvest is your reward. And these grapes on here, I mean, look at these leaves. These leaves are broad and deep green, and the grapes are succulent and juicy. Maybe you have some like succulent juiciness coming your way. That would be awesome. Yeah, so I mean, some stability, very much stability. So this could be an invitation for you to you know, the outcome could be that you get to a more stable place after you've come out of this, after you've walked away with the Eight of Cups. You can find yourself at a whole much more stable place, and or someone else is coming in who has that energy also. All right. Okay. And it says Five of Swords here. Hmm. 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 Yeah. Okay. 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 So you know how she's leaving? She's swimming up and away because nothing's serving her anymore. You want to be wary because now it's like, okay, this could be somebody else coming in or your energy. And I think if you're leaving a relationship, if maybe there was something here and then your goal is to like get this person back, or you know, your goal is to like, you know, I'm not too sure what your goal is. It could be to try to get this person back, but then you're walking away. So you're walking away. So let's say you walk away. Okay? You want to be careful of the next, you want to take care of yourself, and you want to be careful of the next person that you attract, or the next relationship that you manifest, if that's part of what's going on for you, because there's this is like a conflict card, the Five of Swords. You know, when we see these folks, like the sun is setting, basically. Things are becoming shrouded in shadow. And you see like one of the people in the back here with their back turned has their head in their hands, like, you know, there's some despair. So I think this card feels like a warning somehow. Like you want to keep your wits about you. And I think that, pardon me. I mean, I think that be wary of like a codependent, thinking that maybe your way out of the depths here is by going toward another relationship. Like this next relationship is going to fix everything. You need to take some time to lick your own wounds and to also reflect on what happened that left you out in the cold, right? Because something happened. Which is so funny. I've never had the Sun card get pulled first and then afterwards have a lot of, you know, not a lot of, because there is some positive energy or strong energy, like the Queen of Rods and King of Pentacles. I think that that's energy that you want to harness for yourself as well. Let's see what else is here. Okay. So the Four of Pentacles. So like feeling, it might be, you know, get clear on what belongs to you. And you want to be protective. You want to be protective right now. Be protective of yourself. You know, you're gold, right? You're gold. And you are gold, and you're also very rich in the things that you want to share. And but right now might not be the best time for sharing. And that's okay. That's okay. Okay? You don't give too much of yourself away. You don't need to give too much of yourself away, because you are enough for whatever it is that you just came from. Be protective of yourself and your stability. Because whatever, whatever preceded the Five of Pentacles, like this double up, I mean, maybe you really did just come from this super duper amazing positive energy. And I think I'm going to pull some clarifiers for here. Like, what happened? What happened here? Because things were really, really beautiful and really great. Page of Rods. The Page of Rods, like, it's kind of like a new goal, a new feeling. And the Page of Rods is also looking toward the Queen of Rods. So maybe you had come together with somebody who was just like completely out of their depth with you. That could have been it. And they were like the page trying to like, play a king or even play a knight, but they're not where you're at, like they got some work to do. So let's see. Yeah. Yeah, so be protective of yourself. I'm going to pull one card, and then I think I'll just grab an oracle because, like, to give it a little vitamin, because I do have to take off here. Ooh! Maybe we'll just, like, slip this one back under the deck. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? I think that this is probably like sometimes when you're reading, like you can, because it's a story, and it unfolds. And then, but sometimes as you're reading, you're like discovering is kind of like something happened. Something happened. There was a tower moment recently, or there could be a tower moment coming up, right? Because like, say something happened, you were setting your goal to try to manifest what it is that you think you want, and then you're coming to find that you need to walk away from it. Either way, there was a tower moment, or there is going to be a tower moment. But this is also, it doesn't have to be like tragedy strikes and the plane crashes into the mountain, like, but it's kind of like something came in and swept the slate clean. And, this could even be part of the follow-up. I mean, that was one of the original intentions, was to pull this for a follow-up for the outcome. Now, maybe you'll come to discover that you need a clean slate. That whatever you were trying to build, just wasn't stable enough for all the tumult that was destined for it, basically. And by and large, I mean, what kind of house or what kind of structure is going to withstand lightning and fire? I mean, why should we have to build a house or our structures that house us to withstand such volatile energy? You know what I mean? Because, I mean, I love lightning storms, but from inside the safety of my own warm, cozy house, and you could see the lights and the flashing, then the sky like dancing, and it's beautiful. But you don't want that lightning to strike your house. So either way, I think basically the message that I'm getting here is get clear on your goals. What is it that you really want? Do you think that maybe your initial goal is in alignment with the truth of a situation? We shouldn't have to work so hard for people. That's just what I'm getting from this reading. And I think a lot of that comes from this. Because, you know, given that she's underwater, I just really feel like a lot of you are walking away from a relationship. A relationship that you really, really, really wanted. But then this person just is too young for you. And not in a chronological way, but just like in an emotional way. So yeah. Okay, let me grab a little moon oracle. I will be right back.